Hey guys, I'm aMayesing, and so are you, and welcome to the things that I would change in Star Wars, especially now with Disney. Now, this is from my own personal experience of watching all of the movies and TV shows. Um, However, I haven't done like any of the comics or like every single fan film that has come out, but I have watched a few and seen a few. I've done Star Wars Theory kind of a little bit, um, so I know a little bit about the community and like what people want to see. Um, this is just the things that I would personally change. And of course, these are my own opinions. Is that I'm gonna turn on the green screen because I don't know if that's gonna bug out. But anyways, so of course the timeline is a mess first because they've always produced them in the wrong order. They did the last three and then they did the first three, and now they've just been putting junk in. I mean, not junk. Some of them have actually been pretty good, but a lot of it has just been messy with their times of production. So for New Hope, 1977, first of all, Darth Vader would have a better suit. In Revenge of the Sith, he would not fight, or he would fight Obi-Wan, but he wouldn't jump onto that area where his legs got cut off. He would just get angry and then go away and wait for the Emperor to come, and then, of course, kill the Emperor so that he's the new Emperor and things like that. So he'll make it a protective suit that stops him from being hurt from like the Force, blasters, lightsabers, and things like that. But depending on who he's fighting, he might take it off and do that. And it may look like the iconic suit that we have now, and it may also just be completely new and very high tech and things like that. But anyways, we'll get into that later. Right now, we're talking about New Hope. So first of all, have Obi-Wan remember R2 because it is Anakin's droid, but maybe give him some flashbacks, maybe good memories, bad memories, just because he hasn't really thought about that in a very long time. And then, of course, when Obi-Wan sees Leia, maybe make him look disappointed since he had to already help her when she was a child in the Obi-Wan series. And then Padme would still be alive. Um, and we'll get into that later as well. But Padme would die in the destruction of Alderaan, and since it's been so long since Vader has like seen her or been with her, Vader is going to give the order to destroy Alderaan. And like I said again, the Emperor is dead, and so Vader is the one in command. And then, of course, maybe just make the effects more visually appealing, like make them just add a little bit more spice like the Star Wars Reimagined scene. Um, and I will leave a link to this presentation so that you can look at all the links for yourself. But I would like Vader to be more angry, more aggressive, and um, not as slow as he is in these first three movies that came out. For Empire Strikes Back, not much needs to change. Of course, the Emperor would be gone, so Vader would be the big bad guy. But so Vader would need to be a little bit more aggressive and maybe have him promote the dark side more, um, especially since he doesn't have an apprentice. Or maybe he would, and it would be Starkiller. But you know, who knows? For Episode 6, again, Vader aggressive. Um, Maybe make Vader promote the power of the dark side to Leia, as he knows that Leia is his daughter, and Luke doesn't seem very interested in being a Sith. Um, in the so Tarkin will die in the first Death Star, and then in the second Death Star, Luke will still defeat Vader, um, and then bring him back. Uh, because Vader will have taken off his protective suit for the fight to make it more fair for his son and father to actually confront each other. Now, let me talk a little bit more about the suit of Vader. Vader's suit just protects him. It doesn't give him any abilities. It does kind of slow him down because it is such a protective suit, and when he takes it off, he's more agile, he's more dangerous, but it does make him more vulnerable. Vader will not turn to the good side. However, Luke will defeat him and kill the Emperor, uh, which will be Vader at that point. And then once that's done, Leia will start practicing the Force, and then Anakin's Force Ghost will go to wherever the Endor and be like, "Hey, you saved me. You know, I've been stuck in Vader for so long, and I really wanted to get out." And just kind of have those split personalities type of thing. And then for Phantom Menace, there's the fan film of Darth Maul. I think it's really good. I wish they had actually included it in the movie. Of course, there wasn't really anything. The only thing I would change with that fan film is the beginning, because you see Maul kind of like around this orb of screens, which doesn't make sense. I wish he was just meditating and then being like, "Oh, there's Jedi on my planet," but you can go watch that. And then make Anakin a little older so that Padme does not seem as perverted, and then make Obi-Wan less emotional. I know that like in the entire Star Wars series, Obi-Wan is very cool, very calm, but in the first movie, he seems very emotional. Um, it's just making him less emotional. Be cool throughout the entire series would be nice, but whatever. Let me actually shut my door. I think it's open. I don't know when everyone. Okay, so then for Attack of the Clones, um, oh, make it so that Jango uses a blaster so that he can't be trapped, because he used the little like needle thing that killed Zam. Like, just use your blaster. So and then Obi-Wan can recognize the Mandalorian, so then he can go to Mandalore and talk with Satine, and then learn that Jango is like an old Death Watch leader or something who was hired by a Jedi, which is really Darth Tyrannus. And then I think it'd be nice to have Anakin and Padme tell Obi-Wan about their relationship, which then, of course, Obi-Wan tells Yoda, Yoda tells the Council, and then after, of course, much deliberation, the Council will allow for their relationship to stay because they're going to have a very powerful offspring, even though they really don't want relationships because that can lead to the dark side, of course. So Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Padme go to Tatooine with troopers to help Anakin's mother, who he sensed was going to be in danger, and saves her from Tuskens, and brings her to Coruscant. Obi-Wan will sense a disturbance in the mind of the Tuskens, like they've been tempted by the Force, especially the dark side of the Force, and then Anakin will, of course, later go back and slaughter them, or slaughter the Tuskens without telling Obi-Wan or Padme, because they did hurt their mother, but they got there in time to save her life. So, in Revenge of the Sith, Anakin will be put on the Council for saving Palpatine. Of course, he did kill Count Dooku, but they don't know that. And then I did see online that Anakin only wanted to be on the Council to see if there was a secret healing ability that the Jedi had. He didn't find any records, probably because Palpatine took those out. And then when Order 66 happens, it'd be cool to have a full walkthrough of everything that Vader does. I mean, there's been games, there's been clips, there's been fan films of like things that he's done during that, but there's always been like Disney and Lucasfilm always did chunks of what he did. Just have one whole clip of what he did. It would be really fun. Well, not fun because it's all slaughtering, but like it would just be nice as a Star Wars fan to have what he did. And then before Vader fights Obi-Wan, show Vader bleeding his saber so that it turns red, and then Obi-Wan will later heal it as like Padme's giving birth or something, just to symbolize that brother connection, I guess. And then when Obi-Wan says don't try it, Vader will like force scream. That's kind of what he did, I believe, after he got his suit, realizing that Padme died. So Vader will force scream, knocking Obi-Wan over, but not doing anything, and then just leaving and waiting for Sidious, who he then kills, making himself Emperor, and he'll say goodbye to the unconscious Padme, and make sure that, you know, his son and daughter are still okay, and then we'll fly off to wherever they go. So of course Padme will survive her birth because the Emperor isn't stealing her life force. and then will go on to teach and love their children. And then that's where Vader will construct himself a protective suit against all the Force powers, blasters, and sabers. And then for the Clone Wars, make it less informative because it's between 2 and 3, which means that they had those 2 movies to like look at and be like, okay, what do we want? It's a great series overall, but towards the end, it gets very informative and like really confusing because it doesn't match up with the movies. Like in this animated series, they learn of Count Dooku being Tyrannus. They learn about the inhibitor chips. So the whole thing is just kind of made weird at the ending. Everything else was fine, but at the ending they really messed it up. I think just because they put in too much information. And then, of course, Disney buys Lucasfilm and Star Wars in 2012. For Star Wars Rebels, literally don't change anything. This was a great series. I do hope they make more series or a new show based on this. I wish that Ezra and Sabine were a couple because I think they'd be cute together. And then, of course, Ahsoka will still damage Vader's new suit. Either damage his suit or kind of injure him while they're fighting. And then this is now the garbage section. It's an okay movie. Like the 3 movies that came out after 6 were okay. Terrible writing, terrible directing. Just it was not good. So I think how they should have changed it is that Rey and Ben should have been swapped. Rey should have been the bad one. Ben should have been the good one. Because that would have given Rey a more powerful role, and Ben would be, I know, like everyone else, where it's just a basic guy. But anyways, so the reason why is that Ben is looking for Han, because it's his father. So he goes to Jakku and takes the Falcon after finding BB-8 and Finn. Rey is the apprentice of Snoke and looking for Luke to wipe him out. Then Solo finds Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber on Takodana and has visions of everyone who's wielded it, as well as the thing that's done. I think that's what Rey had as well. However, Ben will give this to Finn, as he has his own lightsaber, but does not run into the forest like Rey does. Now, Rey Palpatine will invade Takodana, and both Ben and Finn try to fight her, but she easily beats Finn, and after much struggle knocks Ben out and taking him on her ship. Leia will tell Han that she senses good in Rey, which is going to be a lie. So when they invade Starkiller Base, Ben tries to talk to her, but she force pushes him and pulls Han into her saber to try to get Ben to the dark side. So the injured Rey heads into the forest, chasing Finn and Ben, where she encounters a vision of her grandfather, which is Darth Sidious, who tells her to kill the rebels and prepare for a new era. She is very confused by this, but continues her path. And then, of course, the rebels destroy the planet. I'm gonna get a drink of water. For Rogue One, they had a good idea, but the fact that they included the Death Star made it really stupid because it was not realistic to the movies at all. In the movies, the Death Star instantly destroys planets, so there's no time for talking. And at the end, make more troops and maybe have a Jedi escort who holds Vader for a long enough time but gets murdered. Because in Rogue One, Vader is very slow. He's very slow. He could have easily just taken them out. But if there was like a Jedi apprentice or just something that would actually be a challenge or like a little play thing for Vader, that would have elongated the time that it would take him to actually get those plans, and then that would make more sense. For The Last Jedi, during the evacuation of the Resistance base, Rey would fire on the bridge where the Resistance leaders are, but Leia will use the Force to redirect the missiles or ion missiles. I think they were, whatever missiles they were. There were other blasters or missiles, and I think Leia would be strong enough to just redirect them instead of blowing up. First of all, blowing up, going into space, and then holding her breath long enough to pull herself to the door. Like, that was really stupid. That whole thing was really stupid, I have to say. That whole thing. First of all, she got blown up, then she got into space where the Force would not have saved her from negative whatever in space, and then her pulling herself to the door. Like, that was the whole Force in the last three movies that they've done is awful, I have to say. Anyways, Ben is trying to recruit Luke. Rey said that Luke feared her power since she was a Palpatine, which led to the fall of the school. After Rey and Ben fight, she declares herself supreme leader and starts the invasion of Crait. When she realizes that Luke is not there, she force screams, cracking the ground. And then they get away, of course. And then for Solo, a Star Wars story, I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to make any comments on it. I'm sure it's a good show. I just don't see any reason for me to watch it, because I pretty much know what Han Solo is. He's a smuggler, he gambled. I don't really want to watch it. But I do think having some other stories like Star Killer, which is Vader's apprentice in a video game, I think that'd be pretty cool. Also having a story of Leia, both as a Jedi and ambassador. A story about Yoda, what he's doing on Dagobah, and learning about the Force Ghost with Qui-Gon. And then also Mace Windu Returns, which is the fan film made by Star Wars Theory, which is really good. I just wish it was extended to actually show a fight between Vader and Mace Windu. This is the final movie and the juiciest out of the whole like revamp that I'm thinking of. So Rey unites with her grandfather Sidious. I'd say makes C-3PO be able to read the Sith text, but it makes him violent afterwards due to a protection put on the dagger, and they have to rewire him. While Ben is trying to save Chewbacca, Rey feels her losing her grip, so she electrocutes the ship. Once Ben gets the dagger, he has a vision that Jedi Ochi was hired by Palpatine to turn Ben to the dark side when he was young, which Ochi is the one that killed Rey's parents in the actual movie. So Rey, Palpatine, and Ben Solo fight, and her dying. Oh, so when Rey and Ben are fighting, Leia distracts Rey so that Ben impales her. I don't exactly know what that would be, whether it's a vision or just her voice, something like that. But it would just distract Rey. Not as much as Ben in the movie, but whatever. So Ben will heal Rey because he loves her and stuff, even though she's trying to kill him all the time. And goes back to the Resistance. When the Resistance goes to confront Palpatine where all the ships are, he is dead as Supreme Lord Rey Palpatine has killed him, making his spirit go into her, which makes her all powerful. After an intense battle with the Knights of Sidious and Rey, Ben is very weak. Rey mocks Ben, saying that your friends can't help you now, that this is why the Sith win. We make ourselves powerful and destroy the weak. That's when Ben feels the presence of the past Jedi. As Ben starts to get up, Rey Palpatine shoots the lightning at him, but Ben blocks this with his mother's and uncle's lightsabers, killing Rey after a short time. And then, of course, Ben Solo Skywalker will return to Tatooine and bury the two lightsabers. So that's just kind of my thing. Don't really, yeah, that's it. I thought it would be pretty cool just to have them literally swap places and just make it so that Ben is trying to find Luke to be a better Jedi, and Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter, so make her the bad guy. Like, they could have done so much better with the story and characters, but it was just so bad that they just needed to change the entire story. And then for Bad Batch, Nothing needs to change. The show was amazing. Probably have Omega, which is the girl starring other shows. Um, and then Mandalorian changed nothing. For the new Obi-Wan series, absolutely great. I don't think anything should have changed, but of course, with Padme being alive, um, make Vader compassionate about his old master, and then Padme and his kids, but still have him be the emperor that he is. Make their first duel, which is with the sand, feel like old friends but also new enemies. To show Vader's fair play with his old master, he'll take off his protective suit, making him even more dangerous yet vulnerable. Um, Vader will keep his limbs, but his anger will make him sloppy. And then at the end, Vader will keep his suit on, but will get damaged by Kenobi from all of the rocks and uh, different things like that. And then Andor has not come out yet. So, yeah. How long was that? That was 21 minutes. I apologize for talking so long, but I just wanted to share this. Of course, like I said, the link will be in the description so you can look at it yourselves. If I talk too fast or it's really annoying, but yeah, I just wanted to make this, kind of show it to you guys. I hope you enjoyed. So I will see you in the next one.